Hey everybody, what is up and welcome back to another anime first look with the MKninja. Now I'm taking a bit of a short break from the fall anime to try and check out some other shows that seem pretty interesting, and Michiko and Hatchin was definitely one that seemed to fit that description. There will be a few more after this, then I'll just probably finish up all the fall anime that I wanted to check out. Then I might take some user requests. I don't know, we'll have to see because a lot of the stuff that I wanted to get through I've probably already gotten through. Also, I feel like I should finally come up with a schedule for these, but more of a loose kind of one. Every month I'll try to do 2 to 3 anime reviews. That way, the whole year has 24 to maybe 36. I don't know. It's like I said, it's a loose schedule, but it's what I'm going to try and follow. Anyway, lately all the shows I've been seeing are only 12 episodes, but this one is 22, so I'll base it off the first 8. Had it fair? Let's find out. Hana Morenos is a little girl who is under the foster care of a rather abusive family, always being considered the outsider and never treated like one of their own. Because of this, she wants to one day be saved. And after a lot of cruel abuse, she finally just snaps, beats up one of the kids, and then runs away. Meanwhile, a woman named Michiko Morlano escapes from prison and eventually calls Hana's foster home claiming to be her mother. Apparently, Hana came back that night, and the next morning, Michiko shows up, literally busting through the goddamn window. She takes Hana away, and Hana absolutely has no idea who she is. The anime focuses on their adventures together, as they try to look for Hana's father, who was Michiko's lover. But there's a problem. It seems he might be dead, or at least that's what everyone thinks. It reminds me a bit of El Cazador de la Bruja, though it has a much more crazy and upbeat vibe to it that makes it more enjoyable in my opinion. But that's not to say it doesn't have its dark or dramatic moments. No, those are still there and help make it more of an emotional narrative. But overall it seems to have a much more interesting feel, at least to me. Speaking of enjoyable, the characters are just that. Michiko can come off as a kind of thuggish and off-putting considering her brash and rambunctious attitude, but she still finds ways to be enjoyable and even rather likable, including with her relationship with Hana/Hatchin. Her name was changed and she doesn't like the name Hana, so I'm going to call her Hatchin to the rest of this review. Hatchin is more witty and sarcastic and skeptical than Michiko, but also less capable in a fight and in other situations that make her a good balance to her new mother. And their relationship, like I said, is pretty good. It's a driving force of the show. It shows them slowly getting together and bonding in their own special ways while going on their crazy adventures. Most of the focus is on these two, as they don't usually run into many important side characters, except for maybe like a few that show up from now and then, and they're kind of as interesting, but other than that, it's mostly just these two, which I don't really have a problem with. It's pretty fun watching Michiko and Hatchin, both the characters and the show. The animation looks pretty great. There's a lot of motion and sequences and moments that are pretty well animated. And whenever there's sort of an action scene, it's usually rather interesting and still has that good animation. The character designs are pretty nice too, although some of them can be a bit racially insensitive. But luckily it's not focused on for very long, and it doesn't always come off as mean-spirited except for maybe this one. But, oh well. The opening also is really nice with lots of colors and neat visuals and a fun song to top it off. The voice acting for the English dub is rather good. Monica Rial is oftentimes a bit hard to recognize as Michiko. I think she kind of gets lost in the role, and she often sounds really different than she usually does, and I think it works. Jad Saxon is nice to hear as Hatchin, and I think she does have enough attitude to fit the character rather well. Most of the other voices are pretty good too. Some of them are even similar to Monica, a bit hard to recognize. Overall, Michiko and Hatchin feels like an improved version of El Cazador de la Bruja, right down to the formula and the fact that it takes place in a poor area. Though different feels and characters make it different enough, and also, in my opinion, make it a bit more enjoyable. Both shows do good at focusing on their leads, but here the leads are a bit more interesting, and it's a bit more fun. Check it out and see for yourself. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. Also make sure to check out my supporters, all that great stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.